How's everyone doing out there? I hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. We are back. We took a little bit of a week off there to go to Mare Fair. We'll have some stories about that next week. Couldn't swing it this week, but that's, neither here nor there. I've got DJ and Heather joining me tonight. Heather, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing the ultimate form of multitasking. I have my character doing something in Power World, I'm crocheting, and I'm streaming with you. I'm the best.
Very good. And DJ, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, I'm almost out of debt, and now I'm going through my new set of DC deck building.
You're almost out of debt, and you've picked up another expensive hobby. Is that what I just heard?
It's not really that expensive.
All hobbies are expensive, man. Especially with Bidenomics out here. Conserve a little better. Now then, so we've got some Reddit lined up for tonight. But first I gotta, thank everybody who gives me money on a monthly basis, of which we are all very grateful. These people are Heather and DJ, who are with us. There's also Shady, Autoknight, Emerald, Senko, Rain, Billy, Alden, Kanto, Mr. Sonic, Alicia, Calbeck, StarChaser, VentureCorp, Willyzin, Icanus, Vulpecula, Raptor's Talon, Jimmy, J Yoshi, and Dark Malcontent. Check out all those links in the description to see what you can get in return for supporting the channel, as well as, the content that all these other guys make. Hey, DJ, did you ever get Adobe working on your computer?
I have it downloaded. I have not gotten around to actually getting it set up.
Okay, if you're installing it and you're running into problems, come find me immediately, because otherwise it's tough to figure out. Anyway, let's get into the topics here. So we've got this first one up on Reddit. Who do you think is the richest among the Equestria girls? So, and we've got a slideshow here of their houses. So there's Sunset and Twilight, and Sunset's coming out of this little apartment that we know is up here, and we got Twilight coming out of the frickin' mansion.
That's why I definitely say that it's between Rarity and Twilight who is the more well off, because Rarity's already a fashion designer, it looks like, a little bit of an influencer, and she might work at a store. So she's got obviously, I don't know what her family does. I mean, she's got gems encrusted in her freaking walls and blankets. You gotta have some dough to do that. And scroll through, I think Sunset Shimmer is only the worst off because she completely lives by herself. Probably, and she seems to go to high school full time and also have a part-time job. So it's gotta be tight. It's gotta be tight.
Mm-hmm. Creepy Nugget saying, how did Sunset get that money? She arrived with little to no money. I don't know.
She probably did what Twilight did and slept in the school's library for a bit, and then found a job to help pay her way to have money. Though there are programs in real life and probably in Equestria for kids who are don't have any family, to help them live independently once they're teenagers, because obviously you're not getting adopted at that point in the foster system.
Yeah, so here we've got a screenshot of where everybody is, and we can sort of get an idea of what their houses look like. So Pinky's still got this very rustic farmhouse. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit here.
I would say we could probably tell their economical status based on their proximity and what we know. We obviously know Rarity and Twilight are the most well off, so they're in the richer part of town. It looks like Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, and Pinkie Pie are around the suburbs. And I don't want to say Applejack's family's poor, but farms don't make that much money, especially it looks like a small family.
The thing is about the farms can make a ton of money. They just don't get to keep any of it. Oh.
Yeah, they need to pay upkeep. And let's keep in mind, not only is there a farm, but Granny Smith also works as a freaking lunch lady.
Yeah. Let's see here. So Rainbow Dash has just got this tiny little house out on the outskirts of town.
It's kind of tall. It makes up for it by being tall. Or maybe
I think
she
that,
lives in an
well,
apartment
also the
complex.
scaling is probably boned here because look at this house compared to this mountain. They're like in this,
Yeah.
they're like in this mountainous valley region, completely surrounded by rivers. It's crazy. So I think the scale is just a little messed up. Like, you mean to tell me, in 1, 2, 3, 4 city blocks, there's 3 houses? This is Mayberry
It's a
out
very
here.
bare-
The frick.
This is some bare bones, like, freaking map building, I will say. But yeah, like, I think we
What
can make
kind
some
of
assumptions.
city
Mostly-
skyline Sims frickin' house is town is this? We've got the
You know
old
what?
main
That's another
street
thing, though.
that transitions into the skyscrapers.
I will say, though, because city life is typically more expensive, those who are closer to the city are probably paying more to live there. So I would presume that means they have more money.
Right. Well, aside from the barn, right? Like, the apples obviously have the most land. It doesn't even really look like they're on a farm. But anyway, aside from that, Twilight definitely has the biggest of the houses. Because Rarity's is like pretty normal, but Twilight's house is like 2 of those.
Rarity's
And
is
her
more
house is
modern
kind of
housing, and Twilight's is like classical mansion.
classical. Like, can we see Twilight's house again from the front?
On the right side here.
That's like, okay, so that's obviously like their garage that's detached. That house, I would like the
This
architecture.
freaking thing is 3 stories tall.
That's probably just like the little attic part. It kind of reminds me of my sister's house, and my sister isn't rich per se, but definitely upper middle class.
I'm pretty sure this attic part here is where Twilight's room is, because if we scroll over here, you see the slant in the roof.
That's
Oh wait, there's a window.
it.
There's a window right there. Let me
You
take.
could probably say she's rich because look at all those fucking baubles. She has like a freaking designer, like nerd designer room.
Yeah.
And you know she probably didn't put too much thought into that.
Yeah, and
like,
this window right here is. I'm pretty sure it's this window right here.
Totally. And go back to her bedroom.
Also, look how many trophies
Freaking,
Twilight has.
look at that telescope. How expensive do you think that fucking telescope was? And look at these freaking, like, she has a mobile, like a planetarium mobile, and like that freaking, what is that, chandelier?
Yeah.
Well, you could also,
She has the-
you could also factor in, look at how many awards she has. A lot of that could just be
That is
award
probably.
money.
I don't know. They don't really give kids that much for winning stuff. Like maybe $100 or so at most. I
Right,
think they
and that's
mostly
not-
pay them in scholarships, scholarships probably.
It's going to be scholarships and that's going to be trophies, but obviously, I mean, we're dealing with teenagers here. These are going to be their parents' houses aside from Sunset.
Yeah, so I'm talking about family wealth, and probably family wealth-wise, Twilight's family has the most money. But I'm gonna say for like them personally, Rarity probably has the most money that she's made on her own.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Twilight comes from a well-off family. Rarity has her own money.
And the rest
Fluttershy's
of
just
them are
kind of
kinda
got
just-
this. Fluttershy's just got this tiny little house, right? And then you can tell that the pie house is really old and kind of and small compared and kind of on the outskirts of town here.
It's slightly bigger than Rarity's house, so I would say like they probably are okay. Maybe her family are miners in this because I don't really see them having a rock farm on that land.
What do you think
Her
about
sister's
Rainbow
probably-
Dash's house with the wraparound porch? I kind of like that.
Nah, that bitch lives in an apartment. That's an apartment.
Is it?
That's a boarding house. That's a boarding house.
Alrighty then. So, I would say Twilight's the richest.
And I would say Sunset Shimmer is the brokest. But you know what? I bet she makes it work. She has a good sense of style, which we'll get into. I bet she thrifts.
Let's see here. Let's see what the comments say. Just looking at their houses, it's got to be Twilight. Most of them live in pretty normal-looking suburban houses, with Sunset living in a flat building. Meanwhile, Twilight has a whole mansion. Also keep in mind that she used to go to preparatory school which is usually reserved for the richer students.
Hey guys, I gotta say it. Twilight doesn't live in a mansion. Y'all haven't seen a mansion in a hot-ass minute. Now, that's definitely a very nice fucking house. It's not a mansion. You want to see a mansion? Go into, like, the double-digit millions on Zillow and see an actual mansion. The 20 mils, that's what a mansion is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mean a duplex in California?
Well, no, I mean something in Utah, maybe.
Freaking, they got listings on Zillow for 1.5 million, and it's like the size of Emerald's house, or maybe a little bit bigger. No offense, Emerald.
Emerald can't hear you. It's fine. Offend him.
What he said?
He said, like, they got listings for stuff that's like 1.5 million. It's like the size of your house. I will say, we got to do a stream where we go through Zillow listings. I love going on Zillow.
Oh my god, they just make me mad.
I love it. People and the crowd would love it too. Hey, chat, if you'd like to see us look at Zillow listings and bring up Brawny's blood pressure, comment below. Tip $5.
Let me see. How many people are watching right now? We got 11 concurrent viewers. No, if everybody donates tips $10, we'll do the Zillow stream.
You're putting this freaking price so high. Come on. Work with me here.
Work with me. I'm broke.
He's trying to get that Zillow money.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, Zillow owes me commission because they listed. First of all, why is my house listed on Zillow? It should not be. Secondly, why did they list it for 4 to 5 times as much as it's actually worth?
All houses are on Zillow, whether they're for sale or not.
Frick.
Yeah, so you can get a Karen that'll call you eventually and be like, "Are you selling your house? You should sell it because it's on Zillow. I'll give you a fraction of what it's worth."
No, I just get I get the BlackRock Shell, corporation scams. Like, hey, would you be willing to sell your house for the right price? I tell them I want $1 million, and that usually shuts them.
I keep telling you, say at least 5 million.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll counter with 5 million. If they come to me and say, okay, $1 million, I'll be like, oh, so you were willing to buy it for 2 million. Oh, wait, no, I didn't say 2 million. I said 1. Oh, shoot. I can't believe I misheard you. My bad. 3 million, right?
Yeah, you gotta give them weight. Like they'll try to measure you down and be like, okay, I start at like 10 million, work them down. We'll take 5 million.
Yeah.
Like, think of it. We could use like one of the millions to buy a pretty decent house still in the area, and then we can live off the rest.
All right, let's see here. Raptor's Talon said 120 for his illustrator. No, I said everybody in here, all 14 of you, $10.
He's putting the price too high because he doesn't want to do it.
It's not about the number. It's about the participation.
Everyone give him $1. That's what you get.
It's not a challenge. Let's see here. All right, let's move on to the next one. Who is the most flawed out of main 6? Objectively, Fluttershy.
You think so? I don't know.
I do. We were having a whole discussion this morning about how Fluttershy people are usually the most dysfunctional, immature, never grew up, never learned to confront anything, and just sort of close in on themselves and rely on everybody to do their work for them. People.
No, but we've countered that, like, they're the people that identify with Fluttershy, but they're not Fluttershy, because the Fluttershy we got at the beginning of the series is not the one we have now.
Yeah, I'm talking about the people that are like Fluttershy, and how, Fluttershy really, if you get down to it in the real world, there are so very few people that go through Fluttershy's character arc.
Well, yeah, but that's not who we're talking about. We're talking about who's the most flawed of the main 6, and she's definitely evolved since then. I don't know if I would say if we're going, but overall, I don't think she's the most flawed. I would say Pinkie Pie is, if we're being real. Like, it's she has her ways of being, so, freaking put together and addressing everybody's wants and needs, but then she'll have these like seriously like immature or emotionally unintelligent moments where she's being invasive and offensive and isn't doing anything. Like that whole Cranky Doodle Donkey episode, the whole freaking when Fluttershy pretended to be Flutterguy to sing or whatever, like those moments like that like she really didn't, like she didn't grow as much from, you know?
So let me just
Like she's still like Pinkie Pie from the start of the show to now like is basically the same. Well, not like.
So
totally
let me just counter with this real quick. Fluttershy went through, I'm gonna say 7 seasons of development, right? I'm gonna say 7 seasons of development to get to baseline, where where you should be as a functional person. You know, she went through 7 seasons of development just to catch up to like Twilight or Applejack or something like that in terms of being able to, in terms of character strength is what I'll say. Pinkie Pie was always useful in, you know, in like niche situations, or even in the broad scheme of things. You could usually find something, a way for Pinkie Pie to help. Fluttershy, usually her episodes were about her being the one that's like holding everybody back.
I want to say, you bring up Twilight, and I want to talk about Twilight for a second. She's our protagonist, but I feel like she's gone through so many moments, and a lot of them have to do with like her dealing with the fact that like she, like sometimes she's not the smartest, like always thinking she's the smartest person in the room, and kind of being humbling that she has to be the one to do things or figure it out. And I get it, she's the leader and shit, but I feel like a lot of stuff goes through her head. If she's not like being kind of arrogant about stuff, she fucking has her little panic attacks. Like, I want to say she might be up there. I mean, being our main character, she obviously has to go through a lot, you know?
Right, but she is usually able to solve the problem.
If we're let's go in the reverse direction. Who is the least flawed? And I gotta say, possibly Applejack.
Definitely, objectively Applejack.
I didn't learn a thing.
She didn't have to learn much.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
she's learned the same lesson a couple times, dealing with stubbornness, but you know, like, that's not really that big of a
She
deal.
was too stubborn to learn the lesson. That's why she had to learn the lesson on stubbornness.
Yeah.
DJ, who do you think is the most flawed?
For some reason, I keep coming back to Rarity, but I'm not sure how to word it properly.
Absolutely false. That's perfection. Also, my voice changed. Don't pay attention to that. I'm fine.
Everyone's got sick.
I'm perfectly good.
Yeah, all the weak people caught something at Mare Fair last week.
I wasn't even there.
You're about to catch these hands.
In your state? I don't think.
Yes, in Florida. Where else?
Okay, so DJ, tell me why Rarity is the worst. Tell me specifically, because we both know Heather's not going to listen.
Well,
I'll counter those points.
she does often come off as shallow and greedy. It has happened on more than one occasion.
I will say element of generosity, sir.
She's also the quickest to break.
Hey, she has her meltdowns, but she bounces right back.
Not right back. We saw what happened.
No,
just when
she
she
has
lost her
I
hair.
think we've discussed this. She has the healthiest coping mechanisms of anyone in the main 6. Like, she has a good
scarfing down
cry,
ice
eats some
cream and
ice
crying in the
cream, and
corner.
then it's over.
I'll meet you guys halfway on this. Rarity is the first to break, but she's also the quickest to recover.
She gets the break out of the way, and then she has her ice cream meltdown, and then she's like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, like we don't
What are
have
we
to
doing?
go through. We don't have to go through a whole episode dedicated to Rarity's recovery. Rarity's
doesn't
recovery,
Wasn't that the whole point of her main losing episode?
sort
I'm
of.
sorry. The problem was still there. The problem was like she couldn't find a way to solve the problem. To be fair, she wasn't sitting in her house being dramatic for most of it. She was actively trying to find a solution to the problem.
Just needs someone to stop telling her to be a drama queen.
No one's ever going to tell her that because that is a part of her
DJ, have you
personality, and it is not
have you
changing.
ever been in an argument with a woman and told her to calm down?
No.
Well, that's the only
Well, you
reason
know
why
what our
you'd say
response to
something
that
so
is?
freaking stupid and naive.
I was reading Harriman's comment.
Oh, let's see. What does Pinky Harriman say?
He said exactly what he said. Rarity isn't the worst. She just needs someone to tell her to stop being a drama queen. And sir, I would say no. The drama queen is part of the process. Being a little dramatic helps you vent out the emotions, and she's doing it in a constructive way, I would say, because it also isn't obstructing anyone else. She just pulls out her fainting couch that she gets out herself. She has her little fainting spell, and then she's fine. It helps you to relax. Like, it's like venting about your job or something like that. You act dramatic like you're gonna kill your boss, but then it passes because you had, like, I've had to have this conversation with Brawny. You men just don't seem to get this, that venting about the problem is part of solving the problem. First, I'm gonna get all the unhelpful, torrented emotions out, vent all that out, and then we're gonna go into this with a clear mind to approach the problem from a different angle. That's what it is. I don't see why that's so hard to understand. And she does it in a comical way.
The only time where Rarity doesn't come back quick is when there is no solution, like Suited for Success.
And I can understand that.
Yeah, Suited for... I mean, shoot, I still haven't come back from some of the stuff that brings me down, but that's because I have yet to find a freaking solution. And in Suited for Success, right? Like, was she holed up in her room for, like, multiple days before the others came, or was it just
it was unclear.
Day? Yeah.
It was unclear. And to be fair, that fashion show could have been the end of her career.
Yeah. So that reaction is understandable. And then they, once the solution presented itself, she bounced back right away. So it's definitely not Rarity. Harriman says Pinky, I think, is the most flawed. She's got so many mental issues and major codependence and abandonment issues. I don't think we ever got Pinky through her abandonment issue, so Harriman might have a point here.
You remember freaking when they couldn't come to Gummy's second birthday party and she had a fucking meltdown?
Yeah, and then like the next time something similar happened, she had a similar meltdown. Like, it wasn't not long later when, like, she thought she couldn't make friends with Cranky and had a similar meltdown. And then, I can't think of much. When it looked like Cheese Sandwich might be the one to throw Rainbow Dash her birthday party, a frickin' meltdown. What else did she do?
Remember when they thought they couldn't get along with Mod Pie and she had, like, a little break there?
Yeah. What else we got? The time that, she was worried about Maud moving away. Because she was trying to come between her and, like, she was trying to force the friendship between her and Starlight. Remember the yakety sax?
God, yeah, that, like, you had to be so dramatic because you couldn't play some very awful bagpipes. So, you know what? I think we're landing on Pinkie Pie here.
Yeah.
But the point I was making earlier is that Pinkie Pie can still solve problems or at least be a part of a solution. She has a lot of utility. Fluttershy just freezes up, and you can't really do anything with her.
I don't know. She's trying to present her things to, like, solutions to problems, and people don't listen to her. Like that whole thing with the Kieran, where she tried to talk to Applejack, and Applejack just wouldn't listen to her. And remember when she had that song she wanted to play all through Rainbow Rocks, and it ended up being the song that would help against the sirens? Like, people just don't listen to her when she tries to present something.
Yeah, but like I was saying, that was after 7 seasons of development. Right? The Kieran episode was season 8. Yeah, that's and what I said was it took her 7 seasons to get to what a normal person should be able to accomplish.
I don't think so. I mean, she was
I don't think that's the same equivalent of flawed as we're discussing Pinky having.
Yeah.
Pinky has like
Pinky also cannot talk to people like a normal person.
Really? What makes you say that?
Because she is She is the absolute opposite of Fluttershy, being an over extrovert instead of an over introvert.
I will say, like, remember the first time we meet her? She went up to Twilight, and Twilight said hello, and she said, and then she left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she came back a few minutes later after she...
And, you know, threw a party in someone's house without permission. That's kind of not cool.
Isn't it a public library?
I don't know exactly.
Public library after hours.
Yeah, after hours in a library. I don't think that's very public. But yeah, I don't know. That, like, especially unprompted in a place you know someone's gonna live.
Interesting.
Anyway,
So
what's the comment then?
Let's late season's Rainbow Dash.
They did start repeating a lot of her problems.
We haven't really talked on Rainbow Dash. I thought it would be too easy for me to go into a rant about how I overall don't like her, but, like, you know, that's just me.
I can't believe we didn't mention Trixie.
It's the main six.
It's the main six. Main six, not Trixie.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I'm gonna fully admit, yeah, Trixie's flawed, but the most flawed? I don't know.
The answer is Twilight from Sparky Jet.
I mean, like Heather brought up earlier, there's an argument for Twilight, considering she's the main character of the show and is the one who's usually having to learn the lessons.
Yeah, like, I guess there's an argument to make about all of them. Like, we put up some good points from, like, all of them at this point, except for Applejack. Applejack has no flaws.
Applejack is the best.
She has her flaws, but she is far from being the most.
She's like, if we could go on self-sufficiency, I mean, obviously all of the main six are mostly self-sufficient adults. They all have their own places. I mean, except for Applejack. Applejack lives in the family home, but the family home is her business.
I mean, Pinky technically doesn't. She lives with the cakes.
That family has lived there for 4 generations by the end of the show. No, wait, 5. 5, because Granny's parents, Granny, Pear Butter and Bright Mac, Big Mac, Applejack, Applebloom, and then, Big Mac's kids.
And Toffee, Apple
Yeah.
Toffee. I don't know what his name was.
Yeah, exactly.
Name? I don't think we got a name.
Yeah, that's 5 freaking generations.
Was it you who made up the name? I heard his name was, like, Apple Toffee or Toffee Apple.
I think Jim Miller got on Twitter after it ended and was answering questions, and I think one of the questions was what was yeah.
I think he had said, like, we just said, like, okay, and Big Mac and Sugar Bell have a kid now, and they're like, you just want us to make a kid? Yeah, just make it, just throw a kid in there, and they just threw together a kid design, like, really quick.
Apparently Little Cheese was supposed to be a boy.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's another thing Jim Miller said on Twitter.
Yeah, a pretty boy with those big eyelashes.
I'm not. Well, beyond that, they gave him a female body.
They probably just didn't communicate that well. But if he says it's a boy, we'll just say he's a pretty boy.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna blank the screen for just a second here. My Little Pony. Oh, frick. Friendship is magic. Little Cheese.
Oh, crap.
And let me bring this back up. Yeah. Philly build.
Yeah, it definitely does, but, they say it's... Ah, shit, hold on.
What's up?
But yeah, if they say it's a boy, it's gotta be a boy. If they say it's a boy, it's a boy.
Yeah.
They just, didn't carry on the design.
I think
it's a cute one.
Apparently the name is Big Sugar.
Big Sugar?
Yeah.
Oh, Big Mac's kid?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. Oh, shit.
Alrighty then. Moving on.
Apparently GameLoft gave him a name.
What was the worst MLP? Oh, that's a big GameLoft. Hold up. Pump the brakes here. GameLoft is usually the ones screwing up people's names. Like, I don't know who it was when we got bulk biceps. I don't know whose idea that was. I will Scream it from the mountaintops for the rest of my life. That is a dumb freaking name for that character. We had a good one, right? Like, we started with Roid Rage, and obviously Roid Rage isn't going to work for the show. But then, like, the fandom sort of settled on Snowflake. And Snowflake was a great name for that character, right? It was just, it contrasted with his appearance, but he was still white. So, you know, you could roll with that. And then they went bulk biceps. Ponies don't have biceps.
He clearly did.
That doesn't count.
I'm fine with bulk biceps. I like Snowflake. I like bulk biceps. If you think about it, Snowflake didn't make much sense. I mean, it was funny, but he had a freaking dumbbell as a cutie mark. There really wasn't anything connecting Snowflake to his name. It just wasn't sensical.
I think it worked better because it was funny.
Well, whatever you say.
How about this, Heather? Like, here's the way I like to go about the names, right? Like, imagine you give birth, right? You're in the pony world. You give birth. You've got this blank slate of a living being now that is someday going to grow up and make its own decisions and develop its own personality. What's in the name? Right? Like, you could say, you could name this child based on, you know, some aspect of it that's immediately available, like its coat color, or maybe there was something around the circumstances of its birth, you know, like maybe that's how we got Apple Bloom or Applejack, or just carrying on some kind of family name, right? But so you get this baby that, as far as we can tell, is probably just going to be a normal baby, and your first thought is bulk biceps.
I don't know. We've had weirder names.
I'm not sure. What do you think, DJ?
I mean, I don't mind the names. Gameloft has actually been pretty good about continuing up content, so I don't mind them in the slightest.
Alrighty then, he's biased. Moving on. Worst My Little Pony merch. What is the worst officially licensed merch you've seen? For me, it's got to be the Funko Pop NFTs they made. Well, shoot, how are you just going to start the thread and then end it right there? Anything involving NFTs are freaking terrible. In fact, everybody out in the audience, if you've got Twitter, go on there and tweet at Pony Cordero and tell him NFTs are a stupid idea, and so is anything involving cryptocurrency, because he was a big fan of that, and he's not around anymore for me to tell him to his face. Anyway,
I would say, have you seen the freaking baby dolls they've made? Those are kind of gross. I don't like them.
You know, the worst are the plushies with those stupid ribbon hairs.
Oh, I have a few of them. Some hung on my wall right now. I have a vinyl.
Like, those aren't great, but I don't mind them.
I cannot stand the hair. It's so disgusting to me.
It's not disgusting. I will agree that, like, fan-made plushies have been ultimately better. But I wouldn't say that's worth. I mean, the baby dolls, I think, are the most egregious, you know?
Applejack merch in general, they always forget her hat. Yeah, sometimes they just forget her.
Oof.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, the spaghetti main plushes. That's what they mentioned. That's those stupid.
Yeah,
things.
the spaghetti. I like that name, spaghetti name. Yeah, I will agree. They're not very good, but I didn't mind them. I bought quite a few.
Let's see here. What is the Museum of Transology? What?
What? Oh, that's that's not a bad plushie.
Yeah, oh, that's one of the Beanie Babies.
Yeah, the Beanie Baby ones are pretty good.
I didn't know they made any official Beanie Babies of the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I
Heather's...
have a rarity one.
You've got the rarity one. You've got the 3 princesses hanging up in your bedroom as well.
Yeah, I got Celestia, Luna, Cadence. I gotta brush out their bags.
Oh, yeah, this is exactly what I thought it would be by that name. That's horrible. Get it out of here. I don't like it.
He thought it was like that was bad? Those were good.
No, I'm talking about the Museum of Transology.
Oh, so the guy wasn't saying the frickin' Rainbow Dash was bad?
Let's see here. It always makes me think of the Rainbow Dash plush I saw in Brighton, and I'm pretty sure it's official, although the photo makes it look quite good. IMH. Yeah, that was just a that was a Beanie Baby. That was official. No, that wasn't.
I thought that was decent. That was decent.
Yeah, he doesn't say whether or not, like, it mentions official plushies in a negative way. It always makes me think of this. So this person doesn't say whether or not that's a good or a bad thing.
Oh, someone agrees with me. The newborn baby ones give me nightmares.
J. Yoshi saying, "Congratulations, Museum of Transology is now in your browser history." Not after I clear, not until I clear this browser history. Forget that.
Everyone's gonna know. Everyone's gonna know.
I do kind of have it. I do kind of have it recorded on video here. Oh, I mean, this one, I'm gonna blank out the screen for just a second here. So you guys can see this. Frick, where was it? There it is.
I was thinking of exactly that. That is exactly what
Honestly,
I
I mean, this is a Gen 3 thing. Oh my God!
No,
Look,
no, that's Gen 4.
look at that.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
These toys came out during Gen 4.
Yeah, they did, and they just kind of took the G3 style.
Yeah, I remember saying I was gonna. I was talking with Evan Bernardi, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this thing and bring it into your house, and he was like, "No, you're not gonna bring that thing anywhere near my house." We had this idea for. You guys know how I did that that one video forever ago, The Last Stand of King Sombra, and it was kind of like PNG animations of the fan fiction. And I was going to do that again with a story called Twilight Punches Flash Sentry in the Face. And then at the end of the video, right, because the story ends literally with the words, "and then they had sex." And what I was going to do was I was going to animate it like that. And then right at the end of the video, I was going to, like, barge into Evan Bernardi's room and be like, "Hey, we were supposed to do work together today." And then I'd see him just, like, playing with pony toys at his desk or something like that. And then just I'd slowly leave the room. And then he's like, and then he delivers the line, "and then they had sex, and Flurry Heart was, or not Flurry Heart, Princess Skyla was born," and just plops this thing down into the desk.
Gross.
And I'm sad that I was never able to make that.
No.
All right.
Well, it's never too late. I could take freaking, what's the fuck his face is. I could take his place, because that's totally something I would do.
Oh, wait a second. What about the,
Yeah.
What about this thing?
It. That's the worst thing ever. Scroll down. There was actually something kind of funny on the left. What the fuck is that thing? You see third row?
That's
fuck
not
is
bad.
that?
I mean, it's
a bubble
It's a
bath
bubble
bottle.
bath
Hold up. Let it load.
I had a feeling it was on the
Okay.
MLP merch site.
Oh my god.
It was a
They have
full
all the different
set.
generation. Generation 4.5. What did you feel about those heads?
I did not like those heads. We should have been on this website the whole time. What is this? Reveal the magic.
Well,
With all the
that's
bat
kind of
bombs?
nice. They're alright. Don't I have one of these figures of like rarity somewhere?
I don't know. Look on your wall. I think
I don't see it.
I think I got you this one, and I put it in your Easter basket.
Where did it go? I must have taken it out and put it on a shelf like at the top.
That's
so I
not
had all my
Pony
rarity
Life
stuff
Rarity.
together.
There's 3 diamonds. Pony Life Rarity only has 1 diamond.
Yeah.
Although Potion
Have a
Nova,
sip of
not
that
many toys made of
shit.
her.
One of these things said I didn't like the Equestria Girls dolls, and
Yeah, it's too much like a Barbie. I liked it when they did like the ones I have on my
Mini
top shelf. I
dolls?
forget what they
with
were
that
called.
head size, you think that's a Barbie?
Nah, I mean they
More
were
like
obviously
Monster
going
High.
for that or Monster High. Yeah.
Barbie,
Like,
I
go
mean,
around-
this is going to sound hilarious, but Barbie is a little bit more proportionally accurate. What
Yeah,
would you want me to
I
go
like
to?
Go to the Generation 4 and look for the Equestria Girl figures I do have. Like, they were way better. The Equestria Girls minis.
The minis.
Yeah, the minis were cool. I got a bunch of them.
I have tons of these. The minis are great.
I gotta call Cruiser and get him on the freaking thing here, and because he's got a bunch of this stuff too. He would have known all about this. But yeah, we got the water bottle. You'll want the standing.
How
wa-
much water? How much water does it hold?
Oh no, it's a shirt.
on
Go
Redbubble.
back. I'm sure they still have it. Oh, God.
Why does it have legs?
Why
That's
are the
Pinterest.
why they have hinge?
Oh, God, there's a Pinkie Pie one.
Oh no! And it's in
That's
Russian.
worse all the time.
Oh God, the Ukrainians are
no.
gonna come for me. Alrighty then, I'm on a government list now.
I think we're falling down a rabbit hole here.
Just a little
Yeah,
bit.
this is
Back up.
terrible.
Oh, frick. Come on. Any merch without rarity in it. Heather, get off of Reddit.
Agreed. Agreed.
Okay, why does Rainbow Dash always reject all of Zephyr Breeze's advances and treat him like he is cringe? She could give him at least one chance. Written by
At
the
least
dude.
one chance, Brawny.
It was written by the dude in this gif with the fedora and the fidget spinners and the rose and the fat neck beard. Right, this dude wrote this sympathetic post for Zephyr Breeze because he is Zephyr Breeze. Except
Yeah, he's like, why don't the girls give me a chance? Why do they always say
at
no?
least Zephyr
there's
Breeze,
that.
you know what? He's even worse than Zephyr Breeze because at least Zephyr Breeze isn't morbidly obese with horrible facial hair.
I mean, yes, he does. He has horrible facial hair. Look at
Yeah,
that.
well, in this anyway, he's got, you know, a little chin stubble there, right? Little chin stubble. I wish he'd wear an actual frickin' shirt.
He does in the first one. The face like.
And here he's got the 5 o'clock shadow, but at least it covers the whole chin. At least it's a complete beard, right? Like it's that way almost on purpose. But here's the answer to your question, ye who cannot understand consent. She's clearly not into it. And you don't keep
it's
trying.
Not some convoluted. Yeah, it's not some convoluted reason. She's not testing you. If she says no thanks, I'm not interested. It's nothing more complex than that. She's just not interested.
Like,
in you. I'm
are
sorry that's not satisfying.
there are rare women out there that I'm just going to come out and say are really dumb and do, you know, play games like this and try to test people like this. And I'll say it again, they are really dumb and they are really rare. But
Yeah, they're in the minority of people.
99.9% of the time, if a woman gives you this face, you don't have a chance ever.
Also, in Equestria Girls, he is definitely not in high school.
Well, we've established that he's actually Fluttershy's younger brother. Like, he is taller, but that's just puberty hitting you.
He doesn't
Like, he's
look
supposed
like
to be the
he's
younger brother.
Younger in Equestria Girls.
Well, once again, he's a dude.
Dudes might like that's probably why he's got this unearned sense of confidence. He like really probably hit all those stems of puberty early on, so he's probably the
Bro, my
tallest. Probably growing facial hair more than anybody.
my 13-year-old nephew is taller than me.
Yeah,
I got
sometimes
I
it
got
should be like
17 Heather's 17-year-old nephew is taller than me. And has facial hair. Kind of even a similar build to Zephyr Breeze, just with none of the horrible personality traits.
And he shaves off his facial hair.
Yeah.
That he has a job of
He's better.
throwing me off then.
And so it just
Like,
straight up
there's no
goes, she's
store
not
around here that'll
interested.
hire anyone under the age of 16.
Because he's a
Zephyr-
bum.
It's because he's a bum. She's not interested, and Zephyr should move on and stop being literally cringe. She doesn't want to. And this is really the only excuse you need. She doesn't want to. Yeah. Zephyr Breeze isn't owed a chance. I'll bet you this freaking dude. Where are you? Rob Jambry. I mean, I'm a little nervous to go on somebody's Reddit account on live because you never know what you're going to find. But I will say this. I won't be surprised if he's like on r/nice guys or something like that.
Yeah, it's sad, really. Like, I don't know where they get the idea that, like, it's gonna happen eventually. Like, you think you're the main character of your own story. You are, but, like, the whole world isn't your story, man.
Yeah.
Embarrassed Menu 9675 said, should we force you to be with someone you aren't interested in purely because we think you'd be a cute couple? Would it help if we pick someone who doesn't match your canon sexuality? How about someone who's proven time and time again to be a self-absorbed asshole? Come on, just give them a chance.
And you know something else, Heather? Because we occasionally listen to those like Reddit story videos that plague YouTube now.
Yeah.
They have videos dedicated to, hey, did you ever give the nice guy the chance? What happened? And it is, 100
The
stories
worst.
of it was the worst decision I ever made in my whole life, and now I'm still dealing with stalkers. And then you get one like, oh, it was all right for a little bit, and then we just grew apart.
Yeah, it's mostly like I tried to do one date with him, but he was overly clingy, too attached. And there's also horror stories of when you say like straight up, don't be nice anymore. Be like, no, I'm not interested in dating you, and then they turn violent.
Yeah.
So it's like a lose-lose situation.
Rusty saying the worst
That's
she
why
can.
chicks try to be nice.
Yeah. Rusty saying the worst she can say is no. Ew.
That is kind of hurtful. Well, if you force it out, usually she'll be like, "No, thank you, I don't have time." Like,
That's
try to
why
do better.
that's why I stopped asking girls out. That's why Heather had to do all the work to get the relationship going. I'm like, no, I'm not doing a dang thing until you can come for me. I have already tried. Let's see, Heather, the previous time before you and I started dating that I tried to ask somebody out, it cost me an entire circle of friends.
I could see the trauma. I could see it.
Yeah. There's
Really?
trauma. Now then, moving on.
And I don't think I feels like you never met anybody who you really like felt it was worth shooting the shot with. Scroll up a little.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which of the main six's residence is your favorite? DJ,
This
what do
is
you
a good
think?
question. Like immediately, whose?
As in their homes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So we got Fluttershy's cottage, Rainbow's cloud house. Rarity just lives in the boutique. Applejack's got the farm. Pinky lives in an apartment above the cake's place. And Twilight has the library and the castle.
I
And
want to
Canterlot
say
Castle.
something. You know what the disadvantage to all of these houses is that all our main characters live in the place that they work at. Like Twilight, from the library and the castle, that's where she had her functions. Like she would work as the librarian, and then she's princess. She lives in the castle and does princess shit in there. Rarity lives in her store. Pinkie Pie lives in the freaking bakery. Fluttershy lives in the cottage where she treats animals. The only one who doesn't like live where she works is Rainbow Dash. I'm not a fan of Rainbow Dash's house purely because it's up in the sky made of clouds. Like, people will be like, oh, it's going to be the softest house ever, so comfy. But I'm like, you can go through the clouds. Also, it's a bitch to host a party, and not everyone's a Pegasus. You're going to have to hope you know a unicorn that can cast the cloud walking spell on everyone, get a balloon up there and shit. Like, it's very inconvenient.
I'm going to say my favorite and then the one I lived in. My favorite is honestly Rainbow's house. I love Rainbow's house, but to actually live in, Twilight's castle, hands down.
Really? Why Twilight's
I would
castle?
say
Tons of room, already has a library, and you could just have as many people over as you wanted to.
I guess, yeah, the parties would be pretty lit.
As alone as you want to. You just get lost.
I don't like that. It sounds like it'd be a bitch to clean. I'm between Rarity's Boutique. It's purely because I like Rarity. It seems like a cute little building. But honestly, I think realistically I might like Applejack's place because me and Brawny talk about doing stuff on our land all the time. Basically, she's doing large scale what we wanted to do small scale. Like, she's got a chicken coop. She's got an orchard of fruits. Got some other crops growing. You know, it's got some farm animal things going on. That's kind of what we want to do on our acre, you know, small scale. Just like,
I always
live it
wish
up.
they explained whose carrot house that is.
I don't even know what that is. We've seen like Applejack on it once to like announce that turkey calling contest. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that.
We don't know anything about that. I'm gonna say
Maybe Carrot Top lives there.
I'm gonna say Fluttershy's cottage. And the reason being is
Kobe.
because we've seen a ton of the inside of it, and I think it's got the best floor plan. And I'm gonna switch over here. So let's see here. My Little Pony friendship. I can type. It's magic. Fluttershy's house interior. Right. And we'll see if I can.
Yeah, Applejack's house comes with a lot of upkeep too. You got to keep up all those crops.
So, like, if we
Oh,
look
look,
at this,
I didn't know they made it into a toy. That's cute.
right? Like, let me just tab a few of these. And you can sort of
Have we
see,
ever seen...
like, how big, and this is a 3D model recreation, but a lot of open floor space, which is what I like. We got a
Have
little
we ever
kitchenette
really
here.
seen her kitchen? I don't believe we've seen
Yeah,
her
I believe in a
kitchen
few
canonically.
scenes we have, yeah.
Yeah, but she's got, very simple, lot of space to move around. And that's what everybody else is pretty, like, cramped.
Well, not the castle. I mean, the
freaking-
library has a good floor plan.
Man, they modeled this out.
Like, the library has a whole basement, and, like, it had the main library area, and then upstairs you'd go to, like, Twilight's section, which was also kind of roomy. I think the library had this, like, it had, like, a good chance against this.
Yeah.
But, like the library, very flammable. Worried about open fire.
Oh, look at this. Seriously, what does Fluttershy do for a living? Fluttershy could not hold down a regular job of any kind. She would have to deal with people, and that's not something she's really capable
It's
of.
not true. I think she could be an accountant.
Rusty saying Fluttershy's cottage now on Zillow. Alrighty then. So what else we got here? Do bronies still exist? No.
No.
No, they don't. The last one died out a million years ago. This is no stupid questions. About 12 years ago, bronies, men into My Little Pony, for those who are unaware, were everywhere. They were one of the first weird internet phenomena that I was aware of. Thank you for clarifying that, because we certainly were not the only weird ones. There's a cat yelling at me outside my door. And it was a huge thing. Then it disappeared. Do they still exist? Are there new bronies? The original bronies must be quite old now. Bro! I ain't that freaking old! Okay. Where are they now? Dead inside. Let's see
Not
here.
replaceable, like personal trainers over 40.
God, I wish I could hit you. Let's see here. They're probably running your IT department. No, those are furries. And I don't care what you frickin' say. Bronies are not furries. In fact, we just came back.
I love the comments underneath.
Yeah.
All the furry ponies I know work at Apple in Seattle, and their boss is a furry.
Oh no, 58 more replies. This explains so much. That actually checks out. This is unsurprising. I'm both a furry and a brony. It seems to be pretty frequent that these people in the communities have jobs such as IT or doing informatics.
Yeah, because they're fucking nerds. That's what nerds do.
Far more furries who are EMT and paramedics. But I do know...
Wow.
Yeah.
You want that person giving you CPR? Hell yeah. Slip a little tongue in there.
All right, let's see what else I got here. A lot of bronies became furry, says Donut. Yeah.
I like the three options they put up there. It's like, it seems what I'm getting is they still exist. They're either furries or trans, or they're into Bluey now. Well, only those three.
I mean, there is quite a bit of overlap between those three. It's definitely not like one or the other. There's a lot of overlap.
Bluey I don't get as much. Like, I think I've seen a few clips of the show, and it can be funny sometimes, but it still seems kind of, like, super boring.
Yep. You need The Last BronyCon, a fandom autopsy by this chick that was in Friendship is Witchcraft. Right? And, I didn't watch this video, but I know people who have, and from what I've heard, she's wrong. It's like, oh, you're not... she's basically, I'm not in the fandom anymore, so it doesn't exist.
I'll have to watch that myself.
Is the vibe that I got from that video. When it came out, DJ was like, hey, should we do this? And we had a few other topics lined up and scheduled at the time, and then the moment sort of passed. So maybe I will watch it and like do a reaction to it like at another date. Most of them just accepted that they were furries and merged into the subculture.
Accept it, Brawny. Accept it!
No, I won't accept that furries are corrupting my wholesome fandom with their porn.
Be assimilated!
No. All right. It's also, the porn is also probably a big reason why a whole bunch of them are turning trans, too.
I thought it was the reason they were furries.
And there's a lot of overlap.
Nah.
All right, what is this thing you sent me, Heather?
I
Anon
thought this was fun.
allows bronies to ruin his game.
I want you to look at this and tell me, did the Brony actually ruin it, or is he just a salty bitch?
Homebrew horror stories. I'll start. Be DMing Storm King's Thunder in 5e. I know what some of those words mean individually, but I've never seen them clumped together like that.
He's doing a D&D campaign.
Okay. And, well, we had a Storm King in Friendship is Magic.
There's other people that have Storm Kings.
Player asks if he can use a homebrew. Look it over. It's a plane shift Equestria. My Little Pony. Tell him no. Rest of the party gets salty. Begrudgingly allow him to play a unicorn artificer. Commence the power gaming. Kess enlarge and reduce on himself and lets the Sorkidin ride him.
It's a race, yeah.
Okay, Sorkadin takes variant human for the mounted combatant feat. Somehow managed to wreck every single encounter because the artificer took a bunch of healing spells. Zip over here and kill someone. Zip over there and kill someone. Hang on, where am I? Start thinking they can take anything. Start picking useless fights. Get killed because duh. Refuse to let him roll up another MLP character. Entire party quits. I feel like we're missing information.
I gotta say, it sounds fucking awesome though. Like, this is the guy who's against the Brony, and the Brony doesn't sound like he did anything wrong. Like, they just had fun. Like, he fucking let someone ride on his back. You know, that's actually a fun idea for D&D. Let people come in with the plane shift shit and, like, make pony characters, and then they can just be the mounts. And it sounds like it was fucking cool and fun, and he was being a spoiled sport. It's just like, no Brony stuff. Like, even the guy telling the story is not making himself out to look good. If you can't make yourself look good in your own story, most likely you're the one that's being a salty little bitch.
I think he was reasonable up until refused to let him roll up another MLP character. I don't think he was, like, ready to have his campaign derailed by the
You're
mechanics.
not a good DM if you're not a good DM if you can't deal with that, because this happens all the time. Every story you hear about a D&D campaign, some shit like this happens. It doesn't have to be a Brony. It's someone just going nuts with the power that they have. That's just what D&D is. If you're not ready for that, you're not ready for D&D. Someone clip this.
Someone clip this segment and send it to Firebrand and see what he thinks.
I'm just saying, it sounded like it was fucking awesome. It sounded like it was fun. It sounded like everyone else was having fun but you. You got mad that a Brony decided they wanted to do something fun. Like, it's like what you always say. People can't deal with the fact that Bronies exist and they're having fun and doing their little thing.
Donut Furries did not make Brony. Oh my god. I'm going to have Donut on this show sometime soon so I can just prove him wrong in front of everybody.
Brawny, let's do a Furries versus Bronies debate.
Oh,
yeah, we'll go get that guy from Mare Fair.
Where is he?
We'll find him. We'll find him. I'll reach out to Corp. We'll freaking find him. Let's see what the comments say.
I'm surprised Cruiser didn't go to that panel. I didn't see him.
Cruiser didn't go to much of the convention at all, really. Gosh darn.
I didn't see that guy.
Let's see here. Oh boy, what is that? Battlefield covered in something slippery like ice? You better make those agility checks or no charging for you. Okay, so we got this dude, like, offering ways he could have gotten around it. Or, like, slowed the character. Harriman says, critical role syndrome makes too many players think that they are the 100% center of attention, and everything has to be super special awesomes, which makes life hell for DMs.
The rest of the group was on the Brony side, so, I mean, what does that tell you?
Yeah. Okay, so hold up. Player was like, okay, I like MLP, but I'm a reasonable human being. I'll take what I can get and we'll all be happy. Everybody win. We cannot let Twilight sparkle down, everyone. Let's use the power of friendship and made it a nightmare. 66 replies.
That was a friendship building experience. I hope everyone else formed their own group and they did Brony stuff.
Player was like, it's not asking for much, just to use a balanced homebrew. Talked it over with the other players behind my back and then wrecked my campaign. Okay, so this is
boo-hoo.
This is the OP. And this is a screenshot from his 4chan.
Your first mistake being a 4chaner.
Yeah. Well, and a Redditor.
I don't know.
Like, dude, pick a struggle.
You got every struggle. I don't know. This guy, I'm not on this guy's side. Maybe I'm biased. I'm not with him here.
Talk with the other players
back.
behind my back and wrecked my campaign.
Your campaign. Ooh, I'm still not on this guy's side. Like every diction choice he's making is making himself sound worse. Like other players behind my back, oh, they strategize without telling the DM. Yeah, you're supposed to do that so the DM can't see what you're doing. Like you can't see it coming because like basically it's the DM against the group. Like not like, you know, aggressively, but like, you know, you got to be on separate pages. Like the DM can't tell you everything. You can't tell everything to the DM.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to step in and correct you. Think of D&D more like collaborative storytelling.
I guess.
If the players and the DM are at odds, then your group is not going to work.
I see what you're saying, but still, like, they don't got to tell you every little thing. If they're strategizing about player creation, like, they just got to tell you everything, like, about the basics of the character, not how they're going to use everything, you know? They got to keep changing it up, keep it fresh.
I will accept that interpretation.
Okay, cool.
Gave Plane Shift Equestria a look. Most of the stuff there is ridiculously unbalanced. Let's start with spells. Hornhand.
Oh god, I can't get into all of this.
I'm not gonna understand any of this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking all this shit. I just know D&D by like, you know, proximity absorption. I've played like maybe 2 D&D campaigns, and I felt like my DM was kind of dry in his delivery, so I couldn't get hooked. So I know a bit, but I'm not an expert on like building all this shit up.
Yeah, I don't know what any of this stuff means.
It's one of those things that it's more fun in theory.
Here, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put the link to this in chat. If anybody wants to read through this on their own time and report back to me on their thoughts, I would love to hear it. Maybe we'll have another discussion on this particular topic.
I think we're good here.
All right. We are at 9 o'clock. Do we want to keep going, or should we wrap this up?
It's probably a good time to wrap it up. I got to stream at 10.
Alrighty then. So there is one thing I do want to tackle real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here we go. What is Sunset Shimmer's best costume in your opinion? And we're given these 3 options. But obviously we've had a lot more than this. So
I would say that people are all a fan of like the beginning look and hate the middle. I like the last one because I feel like it's like, you know, she still has her leather jacket. It's spiky and it brought back some of the colors that they knew the fans were missing. Like they didn't like her stupid little blue dress.
Honestly, so I like the middle the most. I like the dress and pants.
Yeah, I like the middle the most too.
I think no spikes. No spikes.
I don't like spikes on people.
Yeah, I don't like spikes from a functional standpoint. I'd be worried about poking myself.
On the collar? How the fuck are you gonna do that?
Collar flips up.
When is that happening?
It happens.
I wore a freaking spiked up leather jacket for Christmas every time. That did not happen even once.
All right.
This one's more of a vest.
Let's see here. But we've got a bunch of other outfits that's that Sunset has had. We got...
that's just like a camp outfit. Come on.
Yep, we got Camp Everfree. We got this thing from Everfree.
No, absolutely not.
No, what's wrong with it? It's got spikes. You love spikes.
I don't like that shade of blue. It's just kind of ick.
Alrighty.
Pinkie Pie looks cute though, and Pinkie Pie looks better with a ponytail than most. She looks great.
I do not like Pinkie Pie's skirt. I do not like those giant hoop skirt things.
Oh, I got some bad news for you.
How about Cowgirl?
It's kind of funny, but it's not really
too bad.
her.
I kind of like the cowgirl look.
Why the fuck does Rainbow Dash have a poncho? She had a great bathing suit. I feel like hers wasn't the best, though. Twilight Sparkle and Pinkie Pie had the best ones.
Heather likes the one pieces. Okay.
Yeah, not functionally, but just, this is okay. We're getting warmer.
It looks restrictive. Snow
This
day.
is just kind of plain. This is just kind of plain. I don't really dig it. Nothing really special. This is kind of good. I like the pants. I love those pants.
I think I like this one the best.
Those pants
That's
are great.
from
I love those
the
pants.
special where she was stuck in a time loop, I think.
They bring a lot of attention to her butt.
Bring a lot of attention to her butt is what Emerald says. Not a bad observation.
Oh, she does get spanked.
And that's
a lot
not
in
just
that
by
special.
design. She gets smacked in the butt at the start of every cycle in that special.
That's
That
what I
does
was
suck.
saying.
Well, DJ, we can barely hear you.
Well, you could have said something.
Oh, I did. I just said it.
I've never had any trouble hearing DJ. His levels are fine
He's
on the
usually kinda low
stream.
for me. Oh, whatever you say. Anyways, moving on. Any other options? No.
Yeah, I don't like
No.
this one either.
I never liked the Power
no.
Ranger suits.
No. I don't like that.
Here's your
No.
motocross. Of course, Donut has a bias towards this one. She looks like she dropped out of Sergeant
No.
Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Like I said, that like they keep putting like the wrong shades of blue on her. It's just ick. I don't like it.
This one's my
No.
favorite.
No.
Brawny's
not-
just drawing on childhood experience.
I was that dude from Christmas Story, the little kid that just waddled around in 20 layers of snowsuit.
Man, imagine you gotta pee in that.
Oh, it sucked.
I can't put my wear. It's okay. I don't. She looks like ketchup and mustard. She looks like she's wearing McDonald's.
She has always looked like McDonald's.
It's particularly vibrant. Those are just pajamas.
Yep.
Nothing
How
really
about
special there.
Maniac?
That's kind of funny, but nah.
All right. The yacht.
This is a nice dress. I would wear it. I don't know if I like it more than the pants outfit.
Live action.
Definitely not.
Is that
How about-
an official
how about
thing? Nah.
Yes, it is official.
Okay, no.
How about that faux leather vest, Heather?
For a casual cosplay, it's not bad. But
And the
for
hair
an official thing
extensions,
from the series-
the freaking clip-on hair extensions that they layered into it
Yeah,
and
you
gave it a
can.
perm.
Like I said, for a casual cosplay, this is just fine. For something official, like from Hasbro, no.
They should have hired me. I could have done it better.
Yeah,
How
just get
about-
that out of here.
Sunset reaching for sunset.
I think we kind of agree that like the one where she's wearing the pants for that time loop one, that was the good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I think that one is my favorite.
I love those pants. I'm just can't get over the pants.
We're gonna cut it there for now. But I'll keep this window open because we got a bunch more. To go through. So tune in at a later date when we tackle more of Reddit. But next week we're gonna get everybody on to talk about Mare Fair.
Yay!
Yeah, and you all should tune in and listen to that, and hear why you should ignore the controversy that's going on with it, because people on Twitter are retarded and weren't there.
Yeah.
So that's it. But we're just gonna chill, and we're gonna tell stories, and I'm gonna get as many people that I know were there on that show as possible. Do not start a mayor's chant in my chat. Oi, that's a tongue twister. Do not start a mayor's chant in my chat. There we go. I can talk. I went to
I do gotta
college.
go. So good night, everybody.
Yeah, have a good night, DJ, and thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we hope to see you next time. Tomorrow we are doing a Pal World stream, so be sure to tune in for that. Heather, what are you doing tonight?
I'm doing a Chaos and Crochet stream.
All right, so everybody go over to Heather Blossom's channel in an hour and tune in for that. She's just going to hang out, read chat, and crochet. What are you crocheting tonight, Heather?
I'm working on my scarf. I gotta iron it. It's getting a little curvy.
All righty then. Sounds good. So Thanks everybody who supports monetarily, especially on the $10 and up tier, such as Heather and DJ who are with us. There's also Shady, Autoknight, Emerald, Senko, Rain, Billy, Alden, Kanto, Mr. Sonic, Alicia, Calbix, Star, VentureCorp, Willyzin, Icanus, Vulpecula, Raptors Talon, Jimmy, J Yoshi, and Dark Malcontent. Check out all the links in the description for their content and how you can support me and what you get in return. Thank you very much and have a wonderful night. Stay safe. God bless. Say goodnight, Heather.
Good night.